G'day, time to have a look at those components that make up our fitness. Now there's about 9 to 11 fitness components, and we're going to break them into two categories. First being health related and the second being skill related. So the health related ones are your aerobic capacity, your muscular strength, muscular endurance and flexibility. Whereas your skill related are agility, coordination, muscular power, speed and balance. What I want you to do before you've even had a look at the rest of this video is get a piece of paper, get a Word document, however you want to do it, and draw up this table. You want a column for each of the fitness components that's going to get explained. You're going to need to be able to tell me a little bit about what each of those fitness components are. You're going to need to know, well, the fitness test that's related to each, and ideally you should be able to relate it to a sport. So pause the video, draw up this table. When you're ready to go, skip on through the next one. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is aerobic capacity. It's also known as cardiovascular fitness, aerobic fitness, cardiorespiratory fitness, and aerobic power. We're just going to call it aerobic capacity, but if you like one of the other ones, go for it. Essentially what it is it's how long your heart and lungs can last doing the activity that you're doing. Because our lungs bring in oxygen, and then our heart tries to pump around the oxygen in our blood vessels to keep all our little muscles working. You can see our marathon runners here, they're relying very much on aerobic capacity to get the job done. We're going to test it using the shuttle run test or the 12-minute run test. I think we'll do the shuttle run. You're going to love that because you know exactly what that is. That's the beat test. I can hear the groans from here. Alright, so the next fitness component we're looking at is muscular strength, and it's all about how strong your muscle is to be able to push against a force, whether it's you pushing against the floor to do a push-up, or pushing against a weight to move it, or pushing against an opponent to get them away from you. The test that we're going to be using is the grip test. You're going to love that, and you want to try and relate this to any sport where you're pushing against something. Alright, so it could be pushing against an opponent, it could be pushing against a weight like Arnie is here. Muscular endurance is how often that muscle can repeat. So you can see our rower here, she's just going to keep doing the same action over and over and over again. And we would like to think that she's got really good muscular endurance to be able to repeat this action over and over again. This is tied up with our beat test, but we're also going to do the sit-up test and the push-up test just for funsies. Remember, this fitness component is associated with anything where you're repeating over and over again. So our swimmers, our cyclists, and our runners will be always doing the same action over and over again. Alright, flexibility. We often associate it with our gymnasts, but it can be related to a lot of sports. The whole thing is, it's just based around the range of motion that you have in a joint. So you can see Plugger over here, he's got a nice flexible leg through his hip joint, so he can follow through and boot the ball between the two big sticks. We're going to be testing our fitness in regards to flexibility using the sit and reach test. So you might want to do some stretches before we get that one happening. Alright, now we're looking at the skill related fitness components. We've got agility. You can see Mr. Heaney here, he's playing a sport that involves a lot of agility. Essentially any of our team sports are going to involve a lot of agility. And that's because there's a lot of elements that we need to duck and weave between. Remember, agility is just about being able to stop, start, and change direction whenever needed, and to do it efficiently. So it could be trying to avoid your opponent It could be trying to get to the ball because the ball's changed direction. It could be trying to cut off someone else who's trying to get to the ball. So have a think about the things that you like to do. Does that involve you switching direction on a regular basis? Coordination is often tied up with reaction time. It's how fast you can move your body into a desired position in a certain time. So you can see our table tennis players here. At an elite level, it's very fast. They need to be able to switch direction and get to the ball and hit the ball back over the net all very quickly. We're going to be testing our fitness in regards to coordination using the alternate ball wall toss. Muscular power. A little bit different from our other muscular fitness components. This one's about the explosive action. So it's how fast your muscle can perform an action. So it could be your throw, your kick. It could be how hard you hit something. We're going to be testing that doing a jumping test and a basketball push pass. So lower body and upper body. Think of any sport that involves a bit of a hit, a bit of a push, but in a really fast, quick action. Speed. The ability to move all or part of the body as quickly as possible, whether it's to get into a position, whether it's to react to something. Speed is about how quick you are. Pretty self-explanatory, yeah, with a name like Speed. We're going to link it to sports like boxing, fencing, tennis, handball, basketball, anything where you need to be super fast. And we're going to test it with the 50-meter sprint. Last but not least, balance. The ability to hold your body in a position. Now it could be being able to stand on one leg, balance on a beam. It could be sitting in a certain position and being able to hold that position like our equestrian rider is. It could also be hanging upside down from a pair of Roman rings, or keeping our balance and staying steady on a surfboard, holding an archery, doing archery and holding our bow nice and steady. These all require balance. We're going to test that using the stalk stand. So, hopefully you've been filling out your table as you've been going along. If you haven't, pause, go back, rewind the video if you need to. Use your textbook from pages 306 to 315. You'll have all the information there. You're going to need it for your assignment. Peace.